The sixth QB to come off the board in just the first 12 picks, Bo Nix has been by far the most difficult quarterback to evaluate in this year's draft. An athletic and toolsy signal caller with an abundance of experience, there's flashes of elite play that might have you justifying the pick, but there's some big hurdles in place that obscure him as a prospect. As always, we start with the positives, and his most polished asset, the quick game. With an offense so heavily reliant on RPOs and fast firing, Bo is an expert in this department, releasing quickly with timing, touch, and anticipation. A staple of the offense, the run-pass option gives Bo a choice to beat the defense depending on how they align. With the Ducks outnumbered in the box, Bo will pull it and fire fast to Troy Franklin, throwing before the cut and right between the numbers, allowing his man to turn and pick up the first. Motion was consistently used by the Ducks to help identify coverages and move defenders. And here's a nice read by Bo. The safety tracks the orbit motion signaling man, and Bo quickly deciphers where to go, firing fast before the backer can even read where he needs to be. More motion again here makes the safeties switch the coverage between them, but spotting the cushion this provides to his man in motion, Bo is winding up at the cut, putting this right between his man's digits, allowing another spin upfield for fresh downs. And here's that same play against Utah. With the cushion between the corner and his man, Bo knows the space is there to attack. And look how early he's into his windup, releasing the ball before his man is even pivoted, giving the defense no chance to react. And this is definitely the most encouraging sign, because there's anticipation littered throughout the tape. It's virtually impossible to teach someone to anticipate at the pro level, because the game just moves way too fast. But Bo has shown he can spot a route about to come open and release way before the break. Running the 2-minute drill here against ASU, watch this absolutely outrageous touch pass to throw Franklin open. State are going to run a quarter half defense, and Oregon has 2 clear out routes and an over route coming from the far side to attack that intermediate space. And look how damn early Bo is throwing this. Franklin hasn't even made it past the linebacker level yet, and with pressure in his face, Nix drops a dime to the perfect spot. As the field condenses in the red zone, anticipation becomes even more important, and this is a beautiful ball up the seam to attack the cover 3. IDing the coverage early, Bo looks to his tight end, again throwing it with his man at the linebacker level, attacking the defensive gap early, making this impossible to defend. Back against the Sun Devils, and this is another beauty to release early and beat the coverage. Tez Johnson motions out the backfield, and the Sun Devils do a good job to communicate. But Bo spotted a weakness, and is releasing before his man has even made the cut, not allowing the safety to react, and throwing his man open for the score. And here it is even earlier. Now, this doesn't end up connecting as the DB bumps the route, but it definitely shows Bo's quick vision and willingness to throw early and lead his receivers. When it comes to more complex reads of defenses and rotations, this is mostly missing from the tape due to the kind of offense that Oregon plays. More about that aspect later. But let's try to evaluate what is there. Oregon draws up a beautiful scissors concept here, and Bo shows aggression to find it. The corner route has the safety's hips turning towards the sideline, and as soon as he spots this, Nix is winding up, hitting Franklin for the walk-in score. There's a particular lack of progressions in this tape, and we'll definitely talk about that later. But this is a nice rep, even if the play is kind of bullshit. He'll first look to the bunch for the screen, but spots that it's been overwhelmed, so quickly works to his slants backside. The first is taken away by the safety trying to rob it, so he fires fast to the second to bring up a short third down. And one bit of progressions he did show was the ability to hit the check down. In fact, he was sometimes too willing to find this, turning down aggressive throws deep. Everyone's backing up, so Bo finds Bucky in the flat, and he'll just outflank everyone for the score. When it comes to arm talent, the strength is there to go cross and downfield, but falls short of the true top bracket of arm strength. However, he shows a fantastic ability with the touch pass, showing great feel for layering the ball to a receiver. Down in the red zone, the Ducks call another one of their beloved RPOs, and with the corner and press man, Bo's gonna pull it and go to Troy on the outside. He knows he can beat the punch, and throws a beauty of a touch pass for him to run under. Versus Washington, the back will exit motion and reveal the man coverage, and with Terrence Ferguson on the boundary distracting the safety, Bo knows where to attack, flicking another beauty down the sideline right into the bucket of Jordan James. And here it is against UW earlier in the season. It's zone this time, and the corners should have probably tracked deep, but reading him stay flat, Nix puts up another touch pass to the end zone, dropping this out of reach of the hustling safety. And here it is under pressure. The Beavers get a free rusher off the right side thanks to the cover 0 fake, but Bo is able to drift backwards to buy time, and then throw an absolutely perfect ball, anticipating the cut and dropping this into the space on the sideline for his man to cut into. Ridiculous. And this was a theme of the tape. When all the structure falls apart, Bo has the mobility and wit to extend and create. With the defense dropping deep and the rush squeezing tight, Nix hits him with the pump fake 360, spinning out of the pocket and bailing right. The Trojans' defense busts the coverage, and Bo now has space to launch, finding a wide open Tez Johnson for the score. We showed this one in the Troy Franklin video for great concentration on his part, but the play by the QB might be even better. The handoff is blown up, and the pass looks to be dead with 3 rushers coming unblocked. But Bo manages to shimmy his shoulders to get them to leave their feet and reload to his favorite target in the back of the end zone. And here on the keeper, he quickly finds the rush in on him, but somehow manages to contort and find his tight end in the flat with the defender draped all over him. And here, with a clean rusher coming, Bo goes back to his beloved spin, sending him flying to the floor, and then has the wheels and athleticism to turn the edge and dive full extension to get the first. These legs and moves meant he was a valuable asset on design runs too. More of a north-south runner than you'd expect from a QB, Bo's got the strength and vision to run straight at the heart of the defense, although I'm not sure that's an ideal skill long term. This will best be deployed on third downs and in the red area, where Bo can use his moves to make a man miss and then power his way over the line to gain. When you're seriously hurt, your injury could be worth millions. So we've partnered with Morgan & Morgan to bring you the best lawyers there is to offer. If you're in an accident or are injured in any way, you should know how to protect your rights. Don't overthink it. Take action to protect your rights, and Morgan & Morgan will fight to get the compensation you deserve. The fee is absolutely free unless you win, so you know they're fighting for you. Insurance companies often lowball clients' claims, whereas Morgan & Morgan will fight to get you the money you deserve. They achieved significant verdicts in the past couple of months, winning clients $12 million in Florida, 34 times the highest insurance offer. If you ever got seriously injured, your case would be worth millions, and you're only a few clicks away from potentially changing your life. It's so easy. You can start your claim now with Morgan & Morgan at www.forthepeople.com/thinkingfootball. Thanks to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. Now for the bad stuff, and let's start with the stuff we can work out. For as deadly accurate as Bo was in the short game, when asked to stretch the field, he left the ball short of pace consistently. Much of this was rectified by Troy Franklin's tracking and scheming that meant these deep shots were wide open. But that won't be the case in the NFL. This is a lovely understanding of the weakness of cover 0 and great anticipation to try to throw his man open. But the ball's behind and short on pace, allowing the DB to recover and break it up. Working the boundary this time versus Stanford, the safety steps down to fill the hook curl, leaving a shot down the sideline. Again, Bo was underthrowing this, and the corner is able to recover and make an easy breakup. And against Colorado, this is way too short and flat, leading to an easy interception. For as quick as he could be reading in the short game, pushing the ball downfield meant his clock became substantially slower, and a lot more mistakes started to creep in. Oregon is going to clear out the coverage with 2 go routes and bring a deep dig across the field to attack the space. And yet, Bo chooses wrong. Now, I get what he's trying to do here, be aggressive with the safety turning his hips the wrong way. But he hasn't drifted off the spot and can easily pivot and make a play to either of these go routes. The ball's way long and outside, meaning nobody got a chance at it, and the chunk across the middle is missed. Right before the half in the first meeting against the Huskies, Dan Lanning stays aggressive and goes for it on 4th, knowing they're going to need to keep up with Penix and co. The back motions out to reveal man coverage, and the Ducks have a man beater with a bunch release confusing the Washington secondary. Yet Nix has predetermined where he's going with this ball, trying to go to his man Troy on the solo side, but press coverage versus a quick hitch is always going to throw off the timing, and Oregon entered the half empty-handed. You could tell the defense had really rattled him in this game because he was bobbing and weaving from empty pockets and missing wide open drawn-up plays. And he's not immune from a head-scratcher play either, just launching the ball into double coverage when he can't find anything. You gotta learn to dead the ball, especially in the red area, and he's very lucky this isn't picked. For every snap Bo showed of elite anticipation, there's an equal number of late throws, requiring the need to see the route come open before he would trust his eyes. This one just makes no sense to me because this is exactly how you draw up the play, and Bo just doesn't throw it. Sprint option is one of the oldest plays in all of football, and he's got his favorite man open to the pylon if he just throws it, but he hesitates his way into scramble mode, and then is still too late to get this to his next options, waiting an eternity before throwing this into double coverage. Here versus Stanford, he'll go to the correct read, but not before panicking in the pocket and reloading to it. His eyes are way too focused on the scissors concept, and way too late to get to a wide open curl. Nix starts feeling the pressure despite only a 3-man rush, dancing out of an empty pocket and only finding the route after it's all broken down. And here it is on a swing pass. Oregon have one of their many screens set up, yet Bo hesitates before he releases, not allowing the back to work early and getting his ass lit up. And now for the elephant in the room, and that is scheme. Let's put a little disclaimer here, because talking about college schemes has got us in trouble in the past, so everything I'm about to say is absolutely not meant as a disparagement of the coaching staff. Their job is to draw up plays that work for their team and personnel, and for that, I really can't fault them. Oregon finished second in yards and points last season. That's a very well-coached team. However, this ain't nothing close to an NFL offense, and is incredibly gimmicky, designed to pick on the talent difference and space provided in college football. Almost everything the Ducks ran for Nix last year was an RPO or one read and run play, and this makes it incredibly difficult, near impossible, to truly evaluate him. I simply have no clue how good Bo Nix is at advanced reading or progressions, because he was never really asked to do it. It's impossible to grade something that isn't there. On top of this, the Ducks would often go hurry up, meaning they are attacking defenses before they're set, giving another huge advantage to the offense. It's much easier to attack downfield when the safety's hustling to line up correctly. In my personal grading, I have to score Bo as essentially zeros in both progressions and complex reads, because I don't have any evidence he can do it. Sean Payton and the Broncos might think they can teach him these things, but as far as the film goes, it ain't there. The offensive line was also incredible during his time as a Duck, and it simply won't be this good no matter how talented a line they put him behind at the pro level. Combine that with a quick release-based offense, and you struggle to get a sense for his pocket presence too, usually a great indicator of future success. Bo enters the NFL with more college experience than any player ever, but how much does experience in RPO-heavy offenses truly translate to the NFL? The anticipation is elite, and as impressive as I've seen this draft cycle, but with huge holes in his game, I really don't know how to grade him. You couldn't ask for a better mentor in Sean Payton. His record as an NFL play caller stands above almost anybody. But even he couldn't get Russell Wilson to break bad habits. I think this is the ultimate test for how much good coaching matters, because after 15 games of Bo Nix Tape, I think I'm more confused than when I started.